Buying fractional gold is somewhat of a controversial topic in the stacking community, and the advice is all over the place. And frankly, there's a reason for that. Because size does matter, and it makes all the difference when it comes to stacking. And size is only one of the many variables that have to be considered when it comes to buying fractional gold and silver. In this video, rather than pretend to know the right answer for you, I'm going to provide you with a decision guide that will help you determine the best size to purchase based on your unique situation, not only today, but going forward. And even if gold is $2,000, $5,000, or $500 an ounce. As a bonus, I will also provide a link below where you can download my gold to silver ratio and buying guide sheet. I promise you this will simplify your analysis and your buying process. If learning how to determine the best stacking approach that is unique to you is of interest, well, you're in the right place. And if you stick around to the end, I'm going to share 2 hacks that I use which will save you at least 10% in premiums. So let's talk about it. Before we deep dive into this topic, we need to set a baseline for this discussion. 1, I'm not going to waste your time discussing which fractional coin is better, Eagles, Maples, Cougarans, etc. 2, buying 1 ounce of gold at a time is almost always the best approach when it comes to premium, but not everyone is able to spend that type of money at one time. 3, you get to decide your preferred size. 4, the best size of fractional gold to buy is exactly what you can afford, period. Any size is better than nothing at all, with one exception. Do not buy gram gold or anything less than 1/10 of an ounce. Premiums are just way too high. Coins like Rooster, Swiss francs, other things like that are excellent options, but in the interest of time, I will not discuss. In fact, comment below if you would like for me to cover those coins in another video. Number 7, the only fractional silver you should buy is 90% junk or constitutional silver. And it's not because you're worried about the S hitting the fan. I have an upcoming video where I will cover this topic in greater detail. If you watched a few of my videos, you know that it's all about premium with me because you never really recover your premium. Now, more of your premium can be recovered if you sell person to person. However, I'm not a big fan of that for safety reasons. With that said, I am more comfortable with the idea of a person-to-person transaction when it comes to fractional gold because my risk-reward calculus makes me feel like it's worth the extra effort and potential safety concerns. In fact, I have a video coming up this week where I will cover the safest ways to conduct person-to-person transactions. My first main point is that when it comes to buying fractional gold, the mistake people make, and I definitely made it at first, is just looking at the amount of money in dollars that you're paying in premium instead of looking at the percentage. When we get into the buying guide, you will see that premiums on generic silver is right around 23% or $6, and the premium on a quarter ounce gold coin is about 24% or $150. So $150 sounds like a lot of wasted money compared to $6, but in reality, it's the same premium percentage. Let's first start with the decision-making tree, which will help you identify your strategy, and then we'll come back to the buying guide. In my opinion, we have frankly just overcomplicated this topic of buying fractional coins. And it really comes down to 2 pivotal questions. 1, how much do you care about paying a premium? And that will dictate whether you save up to buy or if you buy monthly. And 2, how important is recovering or minimizing premiums? Which leads to the question of, do I size up and how? So let's take a look at the decision tree and walk through this together. Okay, now that we have the decision tree here on the screen, you can see that at the top we start with our monthly budget. And then the first consideration is, how much do I care about paying a premium? Now, for some folks, that really does matter to them. And they rather save up monthly and decide to buy when they have the amount that they need for the size that they want to buy. And there's nothing wrong with that decision. It just requires a different level of stick-to-itness and patience and discipline. Now, the other side of that is, do I just buy what I can afford? And there are some folks that just like, you know what? I don't know what I would do. I'd rather not worry about price fluctuations. I don't know if there's a right or wrong answer in this regard, but I think it's a question that you have to consider and really think about premium being a major part of that process. If you are one of those that decides to save up and buy your preferred size, then you just follow the decision tree. Save up and then buy and keep stacking for eternity. Really, really simple. If you're one of those that falls into the category of I want to buy what I can afford now, the second consideration then is, how important is it to recover or minimize your premium. And if you're not premium sensitive, then buy monthly, as you see on the chart, and then just keep stacking for eternity. That is a great decision as well. Now, if you're one of those that I want to buy every month, but I don't really like those premiums, well, what are my options? Well, I'm going to propose to you that you buy and size up. And what that really means is you buy what you can afford every month. And when you've accumulated, let's say, two 10th ounce coins, or maybe it's four of them if you're trying to buy a half ounce. And then your option would be then to sell either person to person or trade it with your local coin shop. And then ultimately use those funds with whatever extra cash you may need and then get the preferred size. And then you just keep stacking for eternity. I don't want us to overcomplicate this. This is really simple in my mind. Now that we've got your framework and how you make your decision, let's take a look at my gold to silver ratio and buying guide and see what that shows us. Now, there are a lot of numbers here, so let's just kind of orient you a little bit. The first thing I want you to just kind of notice is the things that are in yellow are the things that you update. And from there, the sheet pretty much takes care of itself. And so you can see if you start in B4, that is the current spot price, which is 1932. And B5 will show you the current silver spot price at 24.88. And then all I do for this particular example, I use JM Bullion. And I put in the price for a gold eagle at 2062. The price for a Britannia is 2018, and a generic is 2017 and some change. And below that, you can see the different prices for a silver eagle at 4074, the Britannia at 3224, and the generic at 3067. And then you can also see that the ratio, when you look at it this way, the numbers are very different than what you have in section C4. And I want to point that out because this is what really kind of bothers me a little bit about the gold to silver ratio. When we look at it, we almost always look at it in terms of 1932 and 2488 and what's that ratio. And I'm going to tell you that I don't follow that in general because it doesn't take into consideration premium. And that premium can make all the difference in the world. And so when you look in G4, 5, and 6, all of a sudden you see that at 2062 and 4074, the gold to silver ratio is actually 50.63. And I would submit to you that that's a much better way of using a gold to silver ratio than just looking at spot price. If you go to the right, you'll start to see the premiums. Now, if you venture down to gold and silver, you can see that there are columns there for a 10th ounce, a quarter ounce, a half ounce, and a 1 ounce. And you can see that there are the spot price is listed there, total price, which includes the premium. Then I break it down, what's the price per ounce, the premium in dollars, the premium in percentage, and then the premium per ounce. And I do the same thing for silver. And so this is my little guide that I use when I'm trying to determine what's the best direction to go, how do I get the best value for my purchase. And so what I want to point out here is if you look at that 1/10 ounce of gold. Looking at the column B, row 12, spot is $193.20, but the price is $285, which ends up being a $91 premium or a 32% premium. If you multiply that by 10 to give you 10 1/10 ounces, you're going to end up paying about $2,900 versus the 1 ounce gold would be $2,062. So as you can see now, you can start to play with this and look at the different premiums and figure out where your sweet spot is for your budget. The half ounce seems to be the sweet spot in terms of how much metal you get and how much premium you pay. Many of the times what I found is that the premiums on silver are kind of comparable to what we find in gold when you get into that quarter and half ounce range. My hope for you is that between the decision tree and the buying guide, you now are equipped with a process that will help you determine what is the best fractional gold for you to stack given your particular situation. When I see deals come across and I'm trying to determine if it's a great deal or not, I simply pull this up, plug the numbers in, and then I take a look. Okay, now for the 2 hacks I promised. If you're in the camp of buy what you can afford and size up, I want to share a very out-of-the-box approach which will save you money. So here's the hack. Let's say you purchase 10 ounce bars instead of 1 10 ounce gold coins to size up. Well, why would you do that? The premium on a 10th ounce gold coin is $91.97. It's going to cost you about $285. But the premium on a 10 ounce is actually $48.60. And it's going to cost you $297. And so what you can see here is that I have a cost and a savings. So it's going to cost me an extra $12 to purchase that 10 ounce bar. But the premium that I paid is now cut in half. So I've saved myself $43 in terms of premium. And then let's say that I've collected a couple of these bars and now I want to go back and I want to sell them to the coin shop. Well, the 10th ounce gold eagle is going to get me $193 a spot. And the 10th ounce bar is going to get me $248 or spot times 10. And what we can see again is there's a $55 savings there. And so you take the $55 savings and the $12.23 that should cost you a little extra to buy that 10 ounce bar. And the bottom line is you've saved yourself $43. So what this does to me is it opens up an option. Like, one, you could sell two 10 ounce bars and add $136 in cash and trade up to a quarter ounce gold coin. Look at the numbers on the left. You can see the second option that it opens up is that I could maybe purchase four 10 ounce bars over time and add $131 and then get into a half ounce. Now, I'm not going to say this works all the time, but what I will say is look at the numbers and let the numbers decide. You know that I say over and over again, the premium is not recovered when you sell. And so if the 10 ounce has that lower premium, it would warrant the idea of considering maybe I start with 10 ounce bars, knowing that I'm going to trade them in to the half ounce or the quarter ounce, whatever it is that you're looking for. I know it's a little out of the box. For my final hack, I want you to approach your local coin dealer. Now, of course, it helps if you have a great relationship with him or her. And I want you to explain to them that your goal is to purchase, let's say, half ounce gold coins. You're going to ask them if they would consider letting you basically trade in or trade back the 10th ounces and pay the difference with them rolling a good chunk of the premium into the credit for the next size up. Now, I don't want you to say all of the premium. I don't even know if you should even list a number. What you want to get is them to agree that when you come back with these two, or let's say it's four 10 ounce coins, and you get ready to trade it into something larger, that they're going to roll in that premium for you. I'm going to tell you, at first, your coin dealer is going to look at you like you're crazy. If you can get your coin dealer to agree, this becomes a wonderful way to basically, essentially save up monthly, but put your money to work. And all you're asking is, if this 10 ounce coin costs me $280, I just would like for you, instead of giving me the $193 at spot, I'd like for you to give me more of that premium back so that I can upgrade. Now, I don't want you to run into your coin dealer and just start asking for crazy deals like this. It takes time. It takes time to build that relationship, to get to know one another, develop trust, and to be, a really good customer of theirs. If you want to know more about this topic and how I get the best deals, I want you to watch my video, Tips and Tricks to Getting the Best Silver and Gold Deals, my top 5 sources. I'll link that video at the end. And that video will help you understand how last year I only paid 7.5% premium on average for my silver and 2.86% on my gold. So as we start to wrap up here, I can't tell you what's the right size of fractional gold for you to buy. What I do know is any fractional gold is better than no gold at all. So what I want you to do is to use the decision tree to help you determine your best strategy for your situation. Is it saving every month and then making a big purchase? Or is it buying monthly, whatever you can afford and living with the premiums? Or is it buying monthly and then sizing up? With that, I hope you've received a tremendous amount of value from this video. Go ahead and comment. I did. That's what I want you to comment. Okay, so how am I going to convince you to hit the like button today? Don't forget that I really need your likes. They're good for my soul. Did that work? Okay, all right. How about this? Every time you like my video, Caterpillar gets his butterfly wings. Come on. Come on, that had to be good. With that, folks, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you very much for your time. Really appreciate it. And as always, stack smarter and never stop learning.